What is going on, everybody? My name is Josh, and welcome to my Day 2 recap of the 2014 Call of Duty World Championships in Los Angeles. Brought to you by No Scope Glasses. Go ahead, click the link in the description, get yourself a pair. Also use discount code DISC5P for 5% off at checkout. All right, so today, guys, we got the Day 2 recap, and I'm going to first start off by telling you who's alive in the winner's bracket and who's alive in the loser's bracket. And I'm going to throw the brackets on screen right now. Thank you to ESN for the graphics. We have Optic Gaming still alive and strong. The green wall is still standing. Then we have Complexity alive. And Optic is going to play Complexity for the not first place, but for top two. Optic and Complexity will play. So right now, Optic and Complexity are guaranteed top three, and they are guaranteed $120,000 at least. Then so this is top six right now. So in the losers bracket, the people that are still alive are T1 Daughters from Australia, Envious from North America, FaZe, and SB. T1 Daughters will face off against Envious. FaZe will face off against SB. The winner of those two games will play each other. Then the winner of that game will play the winner of the winner of that game will play the loser of Optic versus Complexity, and then the winner of that game will play the winner of Optic versus Complexity. So tomorrow there will be, I believe, 6 games. So that is going to be a very exciting day tomorrow. Now, someone commented on my last video to make sure I was reading off of something, so I got all the matches right. So I wrote on this pad everything I wanted to talk about and all the matches I wanted to talk about. And I did that yesterday, but I didn't write enough down. Today I wrote down pretty much everything. So I'm only going to talk about the things that were really important to me. I mainly stick around on Alpha Stream, but occasionally I went over to Bravo or Charlie when there was another big game happening. So the first thing I want to talk about today was Epsilon versus Optic. Now, basically, the whole day's bracket revolved around whoever won this match, because whoever won this match got first seed for Group G, and then after that, they were going to randomize the bracket from then on. So, Epsilon 3-0'd Optic, placing Optic as the second seed for Group G. They were then going to play against a first seed from any of the groups, and they just so happened to go against not SB, TK, and below them in their same bracket, SB was going to play Envy. So that was basically the strongest 4-team bracket out of all of them. Essentially, that's a top 5 bracket right there. SB beat Envy, and Optic 3-0'd TK. So basically, this bracket was crazy, all right? We had T1 Daughters going up against Vitality Rises, I believe, or Returns, not sure. Vex Revenge going up against Rise Nation. And basically, T1 Daughters won their first match, and then they beat Rise Nation. So they would go up against the winner of Optic versus SB. Optic went up 2-0 versus SB. Then SB came back 2 games, and then Optic won their last match. I believe it was Warhawk S&D. But see, the problem with that was I missed that last round, or not that last round, but that last map of S&D. I had to go to dinner, so I missed that. But I saw it on Twitter, and apparently it was like a 6-2 win or a 6-4 win or something of that nature. Next thing I want to talk about is TCM versus Cole, and I believe Cole 3-0'd TCM, which was crazy because you have the best team in North America and the best team in the EU, and I'm pretty sure Cole 3-0'd him. Not 100% sure, but I know Cole beat him, so there you go. Then I just went over Optic versus SB. Then we have the Envy versus TK match. Now, this was a big match because these are 2 top 4 teams, and they were in the first round of the losers finals, not losers finals, but in the losers bracket. They were the first round, and it was assured that one of these two teams were going to go home. Now, of course, this goes down to map 5, and SND, Envy went up 2-1, and TK got Strike Zone Dom, and they just dominated Envy on Strike Zone Dom. So you'd think that they'd have the hype going into Octane SND, but sadly, and I had TK winning the tournament, which is why I am so upset about this pick. My predictions are completely wrong. Now, see, think about my predictions, right? I didn't have T1 Daughters even making it into the bracket because I didn't know that Trident T1 Daughters were Australia's champion. So that was a mistake on my part. Anyway, Envy beat TK. TK just had a really bad Octane SND. Sharp had 0 kills, and Sharp is one of the most consistent players in the game, and he had 0 kills. That went down to map 5, and that was just a crazy, crazy match. And then I want to talk about Trident T1 Daughters going huge, proving everyone that Australia can do it, and they are still alive in this tournament. Then I want to talk about SB versus Vitality Rises now. Vitality Rises came out of the gates really strong, guns blazing. They won their first map, and then after that, SB kind of just took over and just dominated that. Then I'm going to talk about Trident T1 Daughters versus Optic Gaming. Okay, now this was absolutely huge. Basically, if Optic gets Strike Zone Dom for first map, they win. You know, that is their map. They haven't lost on that map all day long. And I don't know why I'm forgetting what happened with Optic versus T1 Daughters, because that was a huge match. But anyway, Optic pulled it out 3-1, I believe. And if Optic gets Strike Zone Dom and Freight SND, they pretty much win. So that was a crazy match. You know, right when Optic looks like they're going to go and lose, they come back and win, and it's crazy, and it's a good day to be an Optic fan because now they're guaranteed top 3. And then I want to talk about Complexity versus FaZe. Complexity won the first map. I believe it was Octane Dom, I think, and then FaZe comes back. Octane SND completely destroys Complexity, so you'd think that they'd have a little bit of an advantage going into Freight Blitz, I believe it was, but then they get blown out on the Freight Blitz, and then their next Dom was not so good either. So FaZe dropped down in the loser bracket playing SB. So now we essentially have our top 6. The top 8, however, are Optic, Complexity, Trident T1 Daughters, Envy, FaZe, SB, Vex's Revenge, and Rise Nation. So those are all the teams in the money. TK, not even in the money, very sadly. Epsilon and TCM, not in the money. The 2 top teams from the EU could have been favorites to win. They 3-0'd Optic right out the gate. It was a complete and utter domination. And it was just bad, I was feeling for Optic. Like, they were just so demoralized. And then you have Scump getting hype. You have Clay getting hype against TK. That, if you go ahead and look up the hype video for that Optic versus TK match, that was crazy. Clayster was just, oh my God. Clayster was going nuts. Oh, I now remember. Optic played Trident in, it was Octane Blitz. And Clay, oh my Lord, Clay was just too strong. And I think the reason I'm not remembering that match is because I was just on Twitter the whole time, just like green wall, green wall, green wall. So that was good, I'm really excited to see what goes down day 3. My predictions are, and I honestly think after what I've seen today, Optic not dropping a match other than their one from Epsilon, they 3-0'd TK. They went back and they beat SB, and SB finished first at regionals. SB beat Complexity. So if Optic beats SB, what does that mean? I don't know. You never know. And I think that Optic has a stronger overall game than FaZe. I think that they have a very strong game. Especially, look, if you're Complexity, and I'm going to say this from an analyst type point of view here rather than an Optic fan, if you're Complexity, right, you veto Strike Zone Dom. You veto Freight SND. You veto, and my computer is just going to sleep here. You veto Warhawk Blitz because those are Optic's best maps. In my opinion, those are Optic's best maps, and you really got to veto those maps. But if you're Optic, if you get those 3 maps, you win. You win right there. Those are the 3 maps that you need if you are Optic. But I think Complexity is going to catch on to that. They're probably going to veto Strike Zone Dom unless they're going to get cocky and they're going to be like, hey, the Optic ain't shit. We can take them. We're Complexity. We're the champions right now. We're the guys that are coming in this tournament favored to win. I don't know what they're going to do. So my predictions are Optic probably going to win 3-1 versus Complexity. I don't think that Complexity can beat them on SND. I think Optic is just such a stronger SND team than Complexity. FaZe completely dominated Optic completely dominated Complexity on the S&D. So if they can do that and they can win their domination, because they're not going to beat Complexity on Blitz, it's just not going to happen. Complexity's Blitz game is too strong. So all they have to do is beat them on S&D and domination, and I think they will. So I think Optic is going to take the first Dom, the first S&D, you're going to lose the Blitz, and then they're going to take the Dom. That would be ideal. However, you never know what's going to happen. So I think they're going to beat Complexity. I do believe Trident is going to go on and beat Envious. I don't know. Trident's just looking like the stronger team right now. You know, they beat Rise. Rise is a really good team. You know. However, I don't know, because Envious, they won 6 straight maps at the end of the day. So they're going to be hyped. But is Envious going to go home or going to go back to their hotel? They're going to party, stay up all night like they did at US Regionals? I don't think they will. I think that's going to be a close matchup, the Trident versus Envious. And then we have another really close matchup with FaZe versus SB. I don't know how that's going to play out. If Proofy and JCap can step it up and be those veteran players that need to step it up, I think that they can pull out the win versus SB. SB looking a little bit demoralized today. I didn't get to see their match versus Rise Nation, but looking a little bit demoralized after that loss versus Optic. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. I do think Optic have the capability of taking it all. However, if they match up against Envious, I don't know how that's going to play out. Let me know what your predictions for tomorrow are. Let me know what you thought of today. Give me your little recap, your little spiel, how you think all the teams did. And then make sure to follow me on Twitter, guys. I cannot stress that enough. Click the follow button. Link is in the description. I will be talking about COD Champs all day long, all weekend long, for the rest of the weekend. Anyway, guys, if you want to leave a like on the video, be sure to check out No Scope Glasses in the description below. My name is Josh. That is all I have for you guys today. Stick around for my recap tomorrow.